Hi, thank you for joining us today. For those tuning in for the first time, my name is Carlos Guerra, and I serve as a senior planner with the City of San Antonio Planning Department. The department has been working closely with the Port San Antonio community and planning team since early 2019 to develop a plan for the Port San Antonio Area Regional Center. During this process, we have organized numerous planning team meetings and community meetings to craft a guide for how the area can develop and build on its existing assets over the next 10 years to fulfill the community's vision. We thank you for your continuous commitment, efforts, conversations, and work throughout this planning process. We're looking forward to giving you a brief overview of the SA Tomorrow Port San Antonio Area Regional Center Plan. Today, we will present a brief overview of the Port San Antonio Area Regional Center Plan, discuss the next steps in the planning process, and highlight several ways you can provide feedback to us on the draft plan. What you see on the screen is the boundary of the Port San Antonio Area Regional Center. The regional center is in the southwest part of the city, just west of the intersection of Highway 90 and Interstate 35. The focal points of this plan are the existing Lackland Air Force Base and the redevelopment of the former Kelly Air Force Base known as Port San Antonio. Neighborhoods within the area are located east of Port San Antonio and west or southwest of Lackland Air Force Base and include Springvale, PACE, which stands for People Active in Community Efforts, Thompson, Valley High North, Cornerstone Village, Jupiter North, and Villas de Esperanza neighborhoods. The work on this sub-area plan has been led by a planning team made up of 6 neighborhood leaders and residents, as well as partners representing businesses, institutions, and agencies in the area. These include JBSA, Port San Antonio, St. Philip's College, the San Antonio River Authority, Edgewood ISD, VIA, Springvale Neighborhood Association, Keep South San Proud, the Thompson Neighborhood Association, New Life Christian Center, SAMSAT, or the San Antonio Museum of Science and Technology, PACE, People Active in Community Effort, Carmona Hills, Coleman Ridge, Freedom Hills, Gateway 5 Palms, Halley Heights, Liberty Village, and Mountain Valley. The planning team had 13 meetings where they provided critical information on the assets, opportunities, and challenges specific to this area that helped each other and the project team develop a more nuanced understanding of the regional center. The Port San Antonio Area Regional Center Plan is being completed over several phases, including analysis and visioning, plan framework development, recommendations and implementation strategies, and documentation and adoption. We are currently wrapping up the recommendations and implementation strategies phase of the project with the posting of the draft plan, hosting this community meeting, and inviting public comments on the plan. As we receive, compile, and review public input and comments on the draft plan, we will incorporate revisions into an updated draft. At that point, we will enter the final documentation and adoption phase, which will include public hearings where the draft plan is presented to Planning Commission and ultimately adopted by our City Council. The Port San Antonio Area Regional Center Plan is one of 30 sub-area plans that are components of the SA Tomorrow Comprehensive Plan, which is the overarching planning document for the whole city. The comprehensive plan set the long-term policy direction for the city out to 2040 on a number of topics, including policies for growth and development that support citywide quality of life, environmental, transportation, and fiscal goals. In addition to the comprehensive plan, there are 2 other citywide plans working simultaneously under SA Tomorrow. The Multimodal Transportation Plan, guiding future city investments in transportation infrastructure, and the Sustainability Plan, leading our growth in environmentally smart ways. Following the adoption of the SA Tomorrow Comprehensive Plan in August 2016, the Planning Department began working with communities across the city to create 30 sub-area plans that collectively will cover the entire city. The Port San Antonio area is one of 13 regional centers, which are the main employment areas of the city. The remaining 17 sub-area plans are community areas outside of the regional centers. The goal of the sub-area plans is to provide a more coordinated and effective structure for planning across the city, recognizing and achieving both citywide goals as well as those more specific to each community. Relevant concepts and recommendations from existing neighborhood and community plans are integrated and carried forward into the planning for each sub-area. Once adopted by the City Council, the Port San Antonio Area Regional Center Plan will provide recommendations and strategies to guide policy changes, future investments, collaborations, and partnerships in the area. The Port San Antonio Area Regional Center vision and goals were developed with input from residents, community stakeholders, and planning team members through an iterative process of developing and refining these concepts. The following is a collaborative vision we have created for this plan area. The Port San Antonio Area Regional Center will be a community that supports Joint Base San Antonio Lackland's mission, embraces and enhances its rich military history while continuing to evolve as an innovation hub with strong partnerships focused on promoting science, technology, and education. The regional center will be an attractive and vibrant destination area that encourages a dynamic mix of community-serving uses along with stable, family-friendly neighborhoods. We foster an environment that promotes a healthy ecosystem where people feel safe and comfortable bicycling and walking, where streets, sidewalks, and trails are pleasant and inviting to use, and where all businesses and industries have the support of local residents and visitors. With that vision in mind, the community defined a set of goals that best represents them, including goal number 1, attract, retain, and support businesses and local talent to promote science, aerospace, aviation, logistics, and technology. Goal number 2, promote the regional center's military identity and preserve Port San Antonio's rich military history. Goal number 3, increase healthy and sustainable transportation options in areas with anticipated increases in intensity of public and private use. Goal number 4, increase housing options while preserving or increasing home ownership rates. Goal number 5, create public-facing amenities and entertainment to transform the area into a destination. The key topics listed here correspond to the main sections of the Port San Antonio Area Regional Center Plan. Most of the plan is organized around the plan framework, which outlines concepts that will shape development in this area. The content and recommendations for each topic is based on input received from the planning team and the community during planning-related activities or exercises at different meetings and from responses to questionnaires. Throughout the process, city staff, along with the planning team and community, have worked to build this framework, identify key priorities, improvements, and strategies to provide growth, development, and investment in this regional center. The plan framework is the biggest section of the plan as it touches 6 main topics. Land use, which will address future redevelopment and changes in property uses to complement existing residences. Focus areas that will highlight areas and corridors that provide revitalization opportunities to attract businesses and amenities needed in the area. Mobility to provide options and choices for how we move around our city and to safely and comfortably connect us to places that are important to us. Amenities and public spaces suggests improvements to amenities and public spaces that help define the character of the area and increase connections to and enjoyment of shared spaces. Housing addresses the need for a variety of housing choices that are attractive and affordable to all those who want to live and work in the area. And lastly, economic development to support the growth of target industries and improve access to job opportunities. The next few slides will present some of the priority strategies identified by the community and the planning team, along with maps and illustrations developed as part of the plan. Land Use Strategy 1.1, Regulatory and Policy. In existing neighborhoods, require future redevelopment and changes in property uses to complement existing residences in terms of density, heights, and setbacks. Other strategies include incorporating a mix of multifamily development with commercial and institutional uses where appropriate, and ensuring the density and intensity of mixed-use developments are suitable for its surroundings. Focus Area Strategy 1.2, Regulatory and Policy, Partnerships, and Investments. Prioritize major amenity and infrastructure improvement projects that support multiple plan recommendations, including those related to mobility, creation of public space, provision of recreation and green spaces, and protection of natural resources. Also being considered is the development of a multimodal and transit plan to enhance the connectivity to public transit and green trails. Mobility Strategy 3.2, Regulatory and Policy. Update street design standards to be consistent with the SA Tomorrow goals for safety, economic growth, development, and city form, and to reflect the relationship between the built environment and the streetscape, considering all levels of street interactions, including pedestrians, bicyclists, and motorists. Other considerations include revisions to street design to improve walkability and pedestrian safety. Amenities and Public Space Strategy 1.3, Regulatory and Policy and Investment. Incorporate street trees when reconstructing sidewalks, curbs, and gutters in mixed-use corridors and focus areas. In San Antonio's climate, shade is important for making walking a comfortable and viable transportation option. Additional recommendations are given to improve pedestrian crosswalks, specifically those with high pedestrian activity near community assets. Housing Strategy 1.3: Regulatory and Policy and Partnerships. Identify development sites to purchase for future affordable housing development that are in focus areas and along mixed-use corridors through the use of a community land trust and/or through partnership with the San Antonio Housing Authority and other nonprofit housing partners. Also, it is encouraged to consider higher density housing and mixed-use development within focus areas. Economic Development Strategy 1.4: Partnerships. Partner with the San Antonio Economic Development Foundation to reach out to property owners and businesses outside of the Port San Antonio Authority's control to identify potential sites within the regional center that can support the growth of target industries. Help owners of commercial and industrial properties to leverage their proximity to Port San Antonio and Lackland Air Force Base to attract additional employers to the regional center. Another strategy defined by the community was to create a mixed-use center around the planned esports arena that is walkable, inviting, safe, and accessible to multimodal connections to other areas in Port San Antonio. At this point, we would like to walk you through the various ways in which you may access the draft Port San Antonio Area Regional Center Plan. You may access the plan by going to the project website at portsanantonio.sacomplan.com. That's portsanantonio.sacomplan.com. While on the main page, please click in the orange banner to download the plan PDF. This may either open a new website tab for you or download the plan directly to your device. While accessing the draft plan may be easier through the main page, this may also be accessed using the tabs at the top of the page. Hard copies are available for viewing at Johnston Library, Millers Pond Center, Normal Community Center, and the District 4 Council Office at Pearsall Park. Also, know that you may access the notes to our previous community meetings and planning team meetings, Port SA questionnaires, and the SA Tomorrow Comprehensive Plan Executive Summary by clicking on the Library tab on the right-hand side of the page and scrolling down to the Documents Library, or by visiting portsanantonio.sacomplan.com/documents. Public comments will be taken until July 18, 2021 via the plan website, email, or phone. The website again is portsanantonio.sacomplan.com. That's portsanantonio.sacomplan.com. The email to submit comments is to carlos.guerra2@sanantonio.gov. That's CARLOS.GUERRA2@sanantonio.gov. You can also reach me directly at 210-207-5425.